Well, welcome back, everyone. And it's Monday, so it's Dr. Paul Arciero's day to help talk about health and nutrition. Now, as you know, we've been talking about nutrition, but Paul and I had a enlightenment this morning, right?
It was.
So we thought with St. Patrick's Day, nice you wore green. I hope you liked that I did too. Yeah, good. That we would talk about alcohol.
It seems
good
appropriate.
and the bad. Seems appropriate, right?
The good and the ugly, yes.
All right, so considering we're talking about nutrition, Paul, what about the good effects of alcohol?
Yeah, you can't deny those. And it would be naive for me to think, or anyone to think, that there's not some benefit to alcohol. We have what's called the French paradox to really help us through this. And the French paradox, of course, says that those cultures, such as the French, who have consumed and imbibed in things like wine, for centuries, they are one of the healthiest populations in the world. So there's some real benefit to certain forms of alcohol. Wine, one of the highest health-containing alcoholic drinks because of the antioxidants and the phytonutrients contained in it. So yeah, there is some benefit. Can't deny it.
One quick question. You know, you always, if you're traveling through Europe, you really notice a difference in the taste of wine because of sulfites. Is that a positive or a negative for wine?
Well, sulfites are there for a reason. It helps preserve the wine.
Okay.
But there are some side effects from sulfites, and some people report headaches. So it's one of those necessary evils in some cases with wine. It helps preserve it, but at the same time it provides some people some unfavorable side effects.
Sure. Considering the amount of beer that's going to be consumed today, good news about beer?
Well, let's see. Yeah, let's find the good first.
Okay.
I want to stay on that theme for just a minute, although I'm not somebody who advocates, obviously, alcohol intake across the board. Obviously, you have to be of the right age, the legal age.
Sure.
But for those that are age appropriate, beer provides calories, of course, some of which are from hops and grains. So there is some health-containing components of that beer because of that aspect of it. So yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Well, you know what, and I'm sure that we're starting to move into the other territory, the bad territory.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned carbohydrates. Beer bellies.
Yes.
Direct result?
It is actually, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So that token beer belly that we all refer to with people who have consumed too much beer is there for a reason. And the reason is because of this. When we drink alcohol, our liver treats the alcohol as the most valuable player.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
That way.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I always tell my students and people that I work with, my clients, that your liver is mother hen. And when you drink alcohol, that's the MVP, the most valuable player, and everything else kind of gets pushed to the side. And so if you're drinking alcohol and consuming some high fatty foods or high carbohydrate containing foods, beer and wings, for example,
Oh my God.
nachos and beer, that is getting stored. And where it's getting stored is right around that central abdominal area. Right. So yeah, there is some definite truth to beer drinking and the beer belly.
Good. All right. Let's move from the liver to the brain, because this seems to be the area that I think if you're really going to talk about the effects of alcohol, you have to go to how it affects the brain, right?
Yeah, we all hear those words, inebriated, right? We talk about, boy, that drink went right to my head, and there's some truth to that. And the reason is because when we drink alcohol, it gets absorbed by almost every tissue in the body. So it's fast absorption. Some of it, 20% is in the mouth and the esophagus, some in the stomach. The vast majority is in the small intestine, and then once it's there, it gets released into the blood. And in the blood, we know that with alcohol intake, there's an increased brain circulation of alcohol going into the brain. So that increases the concentration of alcohol in the brain.
Does that kill brain cells? You hear that frequently too,
yeah,
right?
it does, particularly in young developing brains, so in young kids.
Got
And that's the real danger of drinking alcohol in younger kids or, for example, in a pregnant woman, fetal alcohol syndrome. But not to labor on that point too much, your brain is your CPU. It's your computer processing center.
Right.
And when you're taking in alcohol, you're compromising the ability of that CPU to function properly. So
if I'm understanding you correctly, kind of wrap up, in moderation, alcohol, there are benefits.
there are, yeah. We know that for people who drink, and they drink in moderation, there seems to be some potential benefit. That we know that in certain drinks, such as wine and other forms of alcohol, there's some health-containing properties in those drinks. Grapes have that component resveratrol, so it's an anti-aging
Right.
compound.
Oh, they're
So-
not going to have to drink up then.
Yeah,
once you get the age. Well, that's somewhat liberating. I tell you what, we're going to have to put this theory to a test. So I think the parting glass today is in the opting for us. Want to try that a little
Sure.
bit later?
Yeah,
Good.
let's go for it.
All right. Well,
In
happy-
moderation.
In moderation, but of course. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Same to you, Jesse.
And to see this interview again, go to our website, looktvonline.com.